Hello, Simone here. Welcome to my channel. I am participating in the Sash Bash YouTube Hop, and we are working with Project Live or cut apart cards, pocket scrapbooking cards. I decided to finally use some of the cards that I have been buying from Feed Your Craft for the past year and never really used. Yes, what a shame. I I don't know why I never used them, but I love them. I always love them. And so I decided to scrapbook a photo that popped up on my Facebook. It was one of those on this day photos, and it's, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And it has me taking a selfie in front of the mirror with my DSLR. And this doesn't actually even have to do with the story that I'm going to tell. Well, the photo does, but the story that I'm going to tell is even older. However, it really worked with, I don't know the name of the kit, or it had something with a lens. So it had photography stamps, it had camera things, the view from here says one card. This card says eyes like a shutter and something else. And the story that I'm going to tell is about Project 365. You can. That's what I already created using older American Crafts foam thickers. So I started using and layering the cards as you saw before, and then I went into my scrap bin and pulled out all the scraps that I thought would work with the cards that I had already placed. So I didn't want to redo the whole layout. I just thought I could use a splash of black in the behind the two cards on the right, on the left, not right, and then maybe some kind of shelf thing for the whole thing to rest on and to have a place for my title. And then I found this Pink Fresh Studio paper, which I will end up not using, even though it would work. The writing capture, the what does it say? Capture the moment, capture something would really work, and the colors would really work with the whole thing here. It just didn't look right. So I took it off. And then I went with, I was wondering if I could cover up that really bright yellow that was, that I already cut away from the paper, but there was still yellow on it, and no, it didn't look right. So I'm taking off that. That is an old, not as old, but old to me. It's one of the first things I bought for scrapbooking, Studio Calico paper. And then I decide, nope, I'm just going to commit to the things that I already know. So I'm placing my photo on that 4x6 journaling card. I'm layering up the 3x4 journaling cards that I have already placed there and that I like being where they are. And now I'm really totally confused. Are those yellow stripes actually shining through on my photo? I really have to go back to my layout and look at that. I don't know if this is an optical illusion and I just see those stripes because I know they must be behind the photo. I don't know. So I then take this coral color red, and it is a Dear Lizzie paper from the Dear Lizzie Lovely Day collection that came out in the beginning of 2016. And I cut it into a banner shape. And this is like the very first banner I actually ever get to use on a layout. The last couple of layouts I made, and I used sketches or I used banner shapes from die cuts. I always cut off the fishtails. So this is first for me, but it works really well here. So yay, I mastered the fishtail. And then I am going to place my title on top of that. And I really like how it makes the black pop. And yeah, the title is Project 365. And let me tell you the story. So, or maybe not the story right now, but I wanted to have a subtitle that is called how when I learned how to see, when I learned how to look. Okay, maybe I just need to wait and see what it says. When I learned to see, I think, or how I learned to see. So the story is, I think I'm going into my embellishment and sticker drawer right now and picking out. No, I'm just sticking down the stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm way ahead. I'm just going to tell you the story in a second, and you just know that I will go back to my sticker embellishments and look for things that I could embellish this layout with now. So the story is, in 2007, I started, well, I have been sewing for quite a while, but I was really in love with sewing, and I followed several American bloggers that were very active on Flickr. And so I just went down the Flickr rabbit hole, and right now I'm trying out a stamp with this Memento Luxe ink, and I wasn't sure if it would dry on the photo, and I didn't really know if I liked the color that I was thinking about. And in the end, I'm actually not even using it, but I'm really happy I tried it out on the little photo that was left over first, because it doesn't dry. So I went down the Flickr rabbit hole, and I spent a lot of time on Flickr, which was actually one of the first social media things that I was on, like having an online community of people that think and do the same things I do. But there was one or two people who talked about Project 365, and it was the beginning of 2008, and I decided I'm just going to dive right in. January 10th, I think, I took my first photo and committed to the project, and I took 325 photos. I didn't finish the project, but that is beside the point, because it didn't matter. What happened was that, first of all, I improved my photography skills a lot. I'm still not a perfect photographer, not at all. I would never even think to take photos of your family or anything like that, but I know how to place things that I want to take, how to place them in the photo frame, as to speak. Like that? Does that make sense? I think so. I hope so. And then I also, because I needed a photo every day, I started to see things. That sounds really strange, right? And that's why I filled the whole page with journaling. I started to be aware of my surroundings much more. I started to see that dandelion that grew right in the middle of a parking lot. I started to see the blooms. I started to see the sky and the clouds. I started to see birds. Everything around me just felt like I have been missing out on so many things. And I had two little kids. I was already, not in the beginning of 2008, but in the middle of 2008, was pregnant with my third child. I was a stressed mom. I never really had time for myself. I was always on the max. But even then, I started seeing those tiny little moments with my sons when it wasn't stressful, or even when it was stressful. I was able to take the camera and take a picture first, and then laugh, and then clean up the mess. And this is something to this day that just is like implanted in me. I see all of those things and it makes me just so happy. And this is probably why I love scrapbooking so much, because it again helps me to see all of those teeny tiny things that happen throughout my day, throughout my life, that I would have otherwise not really seen and appreciated. So I'm almost done. I added a puffy sticker from Coco Daisy, which is probably from their last year's October scrapbooking kit. I added this Chimel gold camera. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to add it because I felt like I needed more gold on the page, but then I looked at it again and I thought, no, it works there. This layout is so doesn't follow many of those rule of thirds rules. There's not many embellishment clusters and it's okay to just have this camera on there. And then I'm not really sure if I like those stars, but I think I wanted to have them on there and then some of them didn't come off, so I just left them there and I added those and sprinkled them throughout. I used one star and I created some kind of trapped space. So I added this adventure epoxy sticker from Pink Fresh. No, not Pink Fresh, Pink Paisley, which is also quite old already. It's the first line of Paige Evans. And then I declare this layout to be done. I will go in back later. No! I am adding splatters. Ha! Yes! This is something that I don't usually do because I don't really have any of those mists. I'm not very well equipped with all of the scrapbooking things, but I added black paint splatters. So the layout is finished. I added the date afterwards to the bottom, right next to the star. You won't find it on the close-up because I decided to add it afterwards. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you are inspired to use those cards that you haven't really been using. They are great for making layouts. I hope you feel inspired to tell longer stories, and I hope you are going to check out the next person in this hop. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.